Dear learners, welcome back. If you remember, in the last lecture, we discussed about the different grid systems and their importance in graphic design, specifically in the area of print and publication design. In today's lecture, we will discuss three more aspects of print and publication design, which are very important to achieve a good quality print. The first is understanding the importance of image resolution in print. This will be followed by a discussion on paper selection. Then the session will conclude with a discussion on print production processes. So let us start. Image resolution is a critical factor in printing as it determines the quality, clarity, and sharpness of the final printed output. A mismatch in resolution can lead to blurry or pixelated images. Resolution refers to the number of pixels in an image, measured in ppi, which is pixel per inch for digital images, or dpi, which is dots per inch for printed output. So if you look into the standard practices which is used in the industry, 72 ppi is the standard for online uses, whereas 300 dpi is the standard for high quality print images. As pixel density of a display is increased, the image can show more detail, which is visible on the screen. If you look at the screen, we have four examples: 10 ppi, 30 ppi, 72 ppi, and 300 pixel per inch. Now, if you look at the 10 pixel per inch, where you have a 10 pixel in a vertical and horizontal direction, which is making the whole image, you will find this very pixelated and blurry image. Whereas the same image which has been visualized in 300 ppi, the image quality is very high and clear. So that means high resolution will result into more detail, and that will result into better quality of print. The pixel system differs between digital screen and printers. This has to be understood to make most out of it. For example, a 10 by 10 pixel image displayed on a computer screen requires far more than 10 by 10 printer's dots to reproduce accurately on the paper. This is because printer has a limited range of ink colors. For example, the blue pixels forming the sphere here in the first example on the screen are represented by the printer using various overlaid combination of cyan, magenta, and black inks. The second example. Similarly, light aqua tones are reproduced by blending cyan and yellow, and along with some white, which is ink-free spaces within the corresponding image pixel. So the same pixel which is visible on the screen in RGB mode, if it has to be reproduced through printer where it works on DPI, dots per pixel, you need more dots compared to the digital screen. Now here in this example, this small square is further divided into 6 part, where 6 more squares, small squares, and this is how the pixel number of dots has increased, so that when we are viewing this in two setups, which is one is on the digital screen and second on the printed format, both will look similar. There are different resolution standard for viewing and printing an image. So for example, if you go with a resolution below 150 ppi, the image will be suitable for wave use, but the results may be blurry or pixelated for prints. So as said earlier, for high quality print, 300 and above ppi is the best thing which can be adopted to produce a very sharp and detailed image. Similarly, for large format printing, such as billboard and posters, 150 to 200 ppi is an ideal range. Now you will say why this is also a printed format, so why we are compromising the PPI, which we are saying that 300 PPI or 300 plus PPI is the better for printing process. So this is acceptable in large scale printout because for billboards and poster, viewing distance will help to overcome the lower quality images. So basically we are seeing the content from far, and then if there is some blurriness or there is some small pixelation which is happening, most probably it will blur from the far and you will see the clear image. And it also results into lesser use of ink as well. So if you are looking from the economic perspective as well, having a lesser lower than 300 ppi image for larger format printing is the best option. Now, why resolution matters in print? The reason is because it decides the quality of output. Low resolution images result in visible pixels, or maybe you can say jagged edges, reducing the professional appearance of the printed materials. So the quality of output will be compromised. Whereas high resolution images maintain the fine detail, ensuring sharp and crisp visual. This is one example. We saw this earlier as well. So if it is 30 ppi, the image is pixelated, whereas in 300 ppi, the image quality is very different and it is very sharp and clear. Second thing is, in terms of resolution, it helps in scaling and enlargement of the print. Scaling a low resolution image to fit a larger size reduces the quality, because there will not be enough pixels to support the enlargement. That's why if image is of a high resolution, it can be resized with minimal quality loss, and it will also prevent the details within the picture. It also affects the readability of the text. Text embedded in low resolution images become blurry and unreadable when printed. As visible on the screen, these are the two examples. One is with a high quality, more PPI, and then the bottom one is with low PPI. So once the quality is reduced, the text is converting into pixel format. So the high resolution ensures clear and legible text and graphic elements. And finally, when you look into the good resolution, it sets the standard for the excellence. So the printing companies and clients expect design to meet resolution standards for high quality output. So if you're taking a poor resolution, that can lead to rejection of files and maybe dissatisfaction with the final product to your client. So that means this is really important. When your resolution of the image is really important when you're looking at the quality of output, or maybe you have something which can be which has to be further scaled and enlarged in a bigger size, or you're talking about the readability, or talking about satisfying your client with the quality of print which you are going to produce. So if you look at the standard which are followed in the present time, generally for example, if you're looking for a print for business cards and brochure, 300 ppi is the recommended resolution, and that result into sharp text and images for professional appeal. Similarly, for posters and flyers, 300 ppi, which maintains detail even when viewed from a very close distance. And then when you go for the banner and billboard, you can do this within 150 to 200 ppi, because here the lower resolution is acceptable due to viewing distance. Now distance is larger or more, that's why a little pixelation may work, and then it can be overcome when you are viewing this from a larger distance. If you are looking for a photography prints, then 300 ppi or higher resolution is most preferred one, because it preserves fine details and color accuracy. Right? Now let us discuss factors influencing resolution needs. Why we really need a good resolution. The first one is viewing distance. The closer the viewing distance, which we just discussed, the higher the resolution needed. Right? For example, when you are working with books and magazine publication, which has to be read almost around at a 1 feet distance or 30 centimeter distance, the resolution should be very high compared to something which has been printed for billboard or for any banner, where the viewing distance is it is from the far away or it is more. So this kind of so viewing distance can also help you to work with the resolution, right? What kind of resolution you need for any project. On the screen you see this is a poster which is displayed on the theater, which viewers can see from when they are passing by the street. Whereas if you look at the book, which has to be held in hand and persons would read it, keeping it in a very close distance. So this consideration has to be taken. Now the second one is printing technology. So high quality printers, for example offset and digital printers, demand higher resolution images to leverage their capabilities. As visible on the screen, the offset printing is one of the technique which requires high quality images, because the techniques is there you make different plates for different color, and also in this technique in offset printing, where you have a ink plate cylinder from where the ink is transferred on the blanket cylinder and then finally on the paper. So if you look into this sophisticated method where things happen in layer, the quality of image really matters. And if the image quality is not good, it will affect the plate preparation and ultimately the final output. Clear? Now the third factor influencing resolution need is print medium. So depending on the different kinds of paper used, the requirement for resolution will also change. For example, coated paper which displays sharper images, emphasizing the need for higher resolution. Whereas if you are taking a textured paper, it may tolerate slightly lower resolution due to surface irregularities. So I hope by now you may have a basic understanding of the importance of image resolution in print and publication design. Now let us move ahead and look into importance of selection of appropriate paper for printing. Selecting the appropriate paper for printing is a critical decision that can significantly influence the quality, feel, and overall impact of the final printed piece. The right paper enhances the design, communicates professionalism, and meets the specific need of the project. The type, texture, and weight of paper determine how ink is absorbed, which affects the clarity, sharpness, and vibrancy of printed colors and images. That means poor paper choice can lead to dull colors, smudging, or uneven prints. So there are basically two types of paper. Coated papers, which comes in a glossy or matte finish, which is excellent for high quality prints like brochure, magazine, or photographs. It enhances color vibrancy and sharpness. But coated papers are not ideal for printing text heavy prints or maybe writing. as it can be very reflective and create uneasiness when someone is reading or going through it. The other type of paper is uncoated paper, which is non reflective and suitable for text heavy material like books, notepads, or stationery. Uncoated papers are easy to write on with a neutral and classic feel. So depending on the need and requirement, you may pick whether you're going for uncoated or coated paper. Paper weight also plays a very crucial role in terms of getting a desired output. So measured in GSM, that is gram per square meter, or LB, which is pound weight, paper weight impacts durability and feel. So for example, lightweight paper, which comes into 60 to 90 GSM, is suitable for newspaper or book pages. Similarly, the midweight paper, where it is around 100 to 170 GSM, is ideal for brochure, flyer, and posters. If you are going for heavyweight papers, which is more than 200 GSM, it is used for business cards, postcards, and premium invitation cards, where it is very sturdy and the size is also very small, so it will be very easy to hold and then access. Paper finish is another factor. So first we discussed paper weight. Now we are moving ahead with paper finish. So glossy, satin, matte, or textured finishes affect the tactile and visual appeal. For example, glossy finish is reflective and vibrant for photos and promotional materials. Matte finish is subtle and it reduces glare, so suitable for formal documents. Whereas if you look into the textured paper, textured paper, it adds a unique tactile quality and mostly used for luxury items like wedding card invitations or any other kind of invitation. Opacity determines how much ink shows through from the other side. So high opacity paper is essential for double side printing to avoid see-through issues. So for example, if you have a text heavy print and you have a paper with low opacity, there is a chance that the text which is printed on one side is visible on the other side. So to avoid this, we have to go for the high opacity paper. So that means matching paper to printing technology is really important, because different printing methods interact with paper in very different and unique ways. So if you look into the examples, offset printing, it works well with variety of papers but requires smoother surface for sharper details. If you go to digital printing, it requires paper specifically designed to handle digital toner ink, and many times we use the better finish paper. In inkjet printing, the absorbent papers are better for ink drying, reducing smudging. So wherever there is a ink deposit is happening, you need a paper where the paper should also absorb certain amount of ink, so that there should not be any mess. And then in laser printing, which is heat resistant paper, or where heat resistant paper ensures toner uh, adhere properly without warping or creating any complications. So different kind of printing requires different kind of finishes and different qualities of paper. So the paper is more than just a medium for printing. It is a design element that directly impact the final product's look and feel. By carefully selecting paper's type, weight, and finish based on the project's requirements, one can ensure the final printout or printed pieces will communicate your message very effectively and professionally. If you look at the screen, there are different parameters which has been given in terms of application and paper quality. So for example, if you're looking at posters, mid-weight, glossy for vibrant visuals can be very suitable. If you're looking for business card, heavyweight, matte finish and textured paper can work. For brochure and flyer, mid-weight and coated, sometimes glossy and satin can work better. For books and magazine, you have to go with the lightweight because you have so many pages which is going to be combined together, and you need uncoated paper so that the surface will not be reflective, and then it will be easier for readers to go through it. Then for invitations, heavyweight, textured for luxury feel. So here you can have a multiple explorations with the weight and texture. And for photographs, you need high quality glossy or satin finish. So these are the things you should remember and maybe consider when you are working on any projects. Now let us move ahead. Now let us go through the print production process. Here we will briefly discuss how to prepare your files for printing. The print production process involves a series of steps to transform a design into a physical printed product. It ensures the design is accurately reproduced while maintaining the high quality. The two aspects which we just discussed, the first one is importance of image resolution in print, and then second one is the importance of selection of appropriate paper or the medium, right, for printing, are very significant part of any print production process. However, another aspect which is designing the content or material is also an important part of any print production process. So let us discuss a few essential things to be considered while designing any artifact or working on any project. So when you are looking or when you are talking about the process, the concept and design and pre-press preparations are the two major aspects one has to consider. This is the creative stage where graphics, text and layouts are finalized using software like Adobe Photoshop or Illustrator or InDesign. So that means this preparation should happen in a very right fashion, okay, in a very right manner, considering all the parameters, for example, image resolution, paper selection, and where it is going to be displayed, where users are going to view it, what should be the distance, everything is going to matter. Now you look at visible on the screen. Now this is the first stage so I'm taking InDesign as an example just to make you understand what are the things or parameters which has to be considered while working or preparing any print file. So when you start with a new file, you get this window, and then if you scroll down you will get this part. So now you have a width, height, where you have to set these two, then which format you want in terms of orientation, then whether the pages should be facing, how many pages you need, how many columns you need, and within the columns what should be the gutter space. And then there is a margin, so you have to also set the margin, how much margin you need. So here I have set this as a 10 mm. Then below margin, if you go, there is an option which is called bleed and slug, right? So this is a bleed where you have to set certain bleeds. Now why we set bleeds? Because sometime we want image to be cropped from the margin of the page, and if you don't have a proper bleed, there is a chance that you will find a very uneven edge, or sometimes the ink is shifting. So image is shifting inside when it is finally getting finished for the final product. So you need certain bleeds as well. Then there is a slug. So slugs basically used to give instruction to the printers. So we will see it further. So this is the first screen which you have to give all these parameters, decide how you want to have your project, and then move ahead. Then it will open up the page. Now this is how it will look. So we started with 3 columns, so the whole page has been divided into 3 columns. Then there is a suitable margin which we set 10 mm. Then there is a gutter space between these columns. Then there is a bleed, so this red line, which is, so this space is bleed, and we generally use, because I was telling you, for example, if you want to crop your image from the margin, the edge of the page, then you need certain bleed so that the cropping should happen very effectively. Then these are the columns, and this is the slug where you use it to give instruction to the printer. Now this is how, if you compose anything, any content with image, this is how it will look. So now you can clearly see that these are the 3 columns, and then these 3 columns has been taken to place, used to place the images. At the same time, these 2 columns has been combined to place text here, and then there is certain highlighter, right? And then this text is coming in 1 column. And so this is how this grid system can help you to structured and put the content in a very right manner so that you can easily navigate through the page. And these are the parameters which we have already set. So there is margin, bleed, and then slug. I can write something here for the printer as an instruction, and that will trimmed off when it is going for final finish from the margin, right? So let us move ahead. This is how it is going to look finally if you remove all these details. So this is your piece, and you can see this preview on the screen before going for print. Let us move ahead. So proofing is another important part. So not just preparation of file, but doing proofreading. So there are different kind of proofing. So 2 types basically: soft proofing and hard proofing, right? So soft proofing is a digital preview of the design to check colors and layout. So where you are looking on the screen and then checking everything whether things are in place or not. Then there is a hard proofing, which is printing and examining the physical sample to verify color, text, and alignment before going for full production. So test print is very important for any physical format. So you have to do test print, check text color, alignment, and then size, text size, and overall composition. And if you are satisfied, you can go ahead. Or if there is a need to change anything, for example, many times on the screen we can read text, but when we are printing it, depending on the kind of font we have used, the kind of color we have used, whole thing changes and it becomes very illegible. So then we have to come back and then do all the changes to make it correct. So once you do the physical hard proofing, this ensures accuracy and minimize errors in the final printout. Then there are post-press process, which involves cutting and trimming, folding, binding and assembling. Then if there are some special finishes, for example, if you want to write the name, a title in a different color, or maybe foil or something, then you do all those finishes. If you want to laminate it, you can go for that, and then finally packaging and delivering. Alright then, so we will stop here. I hope now you will have a basic understanding of print and publication design. With this session, we are also ending this course. Though after this video lecture, there is another video on Leno printing process, which is called LenoCut printing process. So do not forget to watch that video, because it will give you a very interesting insights about the printing techniques, the basic printing techniques, which is there since the beginning. And so just to summarize, we from this whole course we started with understanding design, And if you remember, we have also formulated our own definition of design. And I'm sure you are every day you are going back and then seeing it, and then most probably you are bringing some changes to your definition. And by this time, when we are concluding this session uh, on this introduction to graphic design, I'm pretty sure that your definition has changed drastically. So, if you remember, we started after definition, we looked into multiple examples. Then I took you through the fundamentals of design, which is elements of design, and then Saurav took you through principles of design, and he also covered Gestalt principles, which was followed by typography, where we looked into details of typography, different aspects of typography, different attributes through which we can just play and then create typography very much expressive and powerful in terms of creating impact and communicating the messages. From typography, we moved on to identity design, where Professor Saurav has taken you through multiple examples and then different principles and different guidelines through which you can create stunning logos and uh, stunning visual language uh, if you are working on any project on branding and identity design. And then it was further we looked into this print and publication design. So the whole course was about understanding how these different facets, this different part of the graphic design, which is a big umbrella, how these things comes in and then help to create a very strong message, and also helps designer to communicate with user in a very effective manner. So we will stop here, and I hope you have enjoyed this course. I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys in terms of your experience. And so, till then, goodbye and best of luck for your future.